Shalom, my beautiful people. All right, so I quit my job during a global pandemic because of the fact that I was very unhappy. I have never been to the hospital so many times in my life. I've never been to the doctor so many times. And it was just all stress related things. And granted, yes, I do feel for the people who have recently gone jobless because of the pandemic. But this was a decision that I had to make for me. And understand in life that there's going to be decisions that you have to make for you. And everybody isn't going to be on board with that decision. But honestly, go with what your heart says. And I know that sounds so cliche, but go with what your heart is telling you to do. Follow the intuition of your heart. Your brain is stupid. Your brain is going to tell you a bunch of shit. Your brain is always going to lead you to not always making the right decision. It can be the most logical decision, but it might not be the most important decision for your soul. I left my old job because of my soul, my very being, the essence of me. I could not do it. And I was feeling it for quite some time. I felt it for a long time. I couldn't digest food properly. I went to the doctors and they diagnosed me with GERD. If you guys don't know what GERD is a disease. It's like acid reflux, but acid reflux on fucking steroids. Like you can't eat certain foods. You can't do this. You can't do a lot of shit. And they say, oh, like your digestive system is like throwing food back up. So they diagnosed me, they gave me these pills. I looked at these pills and I was like, I'm not taking those because I don't believe that there's something wrong with my stomach. And granted, I've had my fair share of shitty eating. There's no shame with that at all. But for you to be like, I'm 28 years old. I can't go and have a drink if I wanted to. I can't go to a barbecue with my friends if I wanted to. And for that to all be the cause of a disease, let's get into what a disease is. A disease is a body that is not at ease. Is it a body that is in survival mode, a body that is living in a state of stress? So therefore, where I was at my old job, I was always in a state of stress, not even knowing it. And granted, I've been meditating every single morning for at least a year and a half. Every single morning for about at least a minimum of 10 minutes, a very, very minimum of 10 minutes. So for me to be able and for me to be so deep, mentally, spiritually, and for me to literally go into the place where I worked and my heart was hurting, like my genuine heart was hurting, like there would be pulls inside of it. It was just time to go. So when I realized that my body was just not okay with it, like my soul was just like, hey man, it's time to go. It was just a sequence of events that just led up to it. So, without giving too much away, let me go ahead and explain the story. They thought I had COVID-19. They're like, stay away for this and this period of time, for a week. Apparently that was gonna take too long. So they're like, do you have a fever? Go ahead and come back in. So mind you, I was out for a week. So being out for a week and experiencing myself, my own energy for a entire week, you start to feel your own power again. You start to really understand what you're capable of. You start to really, really zone in to everything that is not this. Like, you start to not be controlled by the matrix. Lips dry as hell. Don't judge me. So you stop being controlled by the matrix, and you eventually they're like, come back if you don't have a fever. Boom. So I go back. They put a manager in charge of me. This manager, without saying too much, we don't agree. I don't do well with micromanaging. I don't do well with somebody else trying to control me. But that manager did exactly what that manager was supposed to do, because if that manager did not do that, I will still be sitting in that place miserable as fuck. So I'm grateful for that manager. Long story short, I went in there and they're like, we're switching up your job. They switched up my supervisor. And I just wasn't with it. So as I'm on the phone with my partner, I'm in the car, I clocked out, I'm talking to my partner, and I'm like, God, I can't take this place. I'm literally going over these words. I'm telling her I can't take it. This manager comes and knocks on my door, knocks on my window, telling me I've taken too many breaks. I'm like, that's a lie. So I'm like, okay, cool. Mind you, I'm already heated. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm no perfect angel. Absolutely not. I will tell you exactly how it is. I go inside. We talk in the office. The manager's sitting there. The manager's lying out the ass. Sam, you've been dragging your feet all day. I'm not going to lie about that. Okay. But the manager was also looking for something to be mad about. So then, pretty much, long story short, I end up going back to the desk where they're like, all right, are you going to do this job? And I'm like, that was the plan. So I'm sitting at the desk, and it's just this feeling. And this is what I tell people when I tell you to go off a feeling. There was this feeling in my very soul that it was just like, you have a decision to make, Sam. Like, you can either sit here, take this disrespect, and just realize that this is all you're worth and you're going to stand for it. Or you're going to get the fuck up, you're going to get the fuck out this place, and we will figure it out on the ride. And I sat there and I contemplated for about 2 minutes. And then I went on my Spotify, and an artist that I love popped into my head, the name Abstract. Abstract is the artist. And I hit shuffle on his whole list. If anybody has Spotify, you understand that. I hit shuffle, and the song that came on was Beautiful. That was the name of it. It was named Beautiful. That song, the beginning lyrics of that song, it says, I used to work for the man. He put a coin in my hand. Long story short, the song is saying I used to work for the man, and he put a coin in my hand and told me that this is all I'll ever be. So in that moment, the meaning that I gave it was that was guidance. It's time. It's time. So I sat there, and then a good friend of mine walked out, and she looked me in my eyes and she said, trust the process. Mind you, I'm already crying. I'm breaking down. I'm emotional. I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. She looks at me. She goes, trust the process. That was it. Shut my computer down. I went and grabbed all my stuff and I took off. And I'm just telling you guys this entire story because this is where the journey begins. This happened, shit, what date's today? Don't have my watch on, it's charging. But I believe today is the 17th or the 16th. I quit on the 1st, and it was just a sequence of events on how I quit also. On the 1st was the day that I dropped my first mix named Gemini. If you have not listened to it, I will leave a link. But then, of course, I go into work also on the 1st, and that is the day that I quit my job. It was not intentional, but it was universally and divinely guided. And I'm just saying, trust yourself, trust the universe. The universe has a plan. The universe has a plan. You're going to be all right. Whatever you're going through, whatever shit you are taking and you are tired of taking, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's whatever the fuck it is, whatever it is okay to go ahead and step out and trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust that the universe has you. Trust that it's not going to be easy. That it might not. It won't be easy. It won't be easy. And you might have to take some fucking punches. But trust and believe that all your needs will be met. With that being said, that is the reason I quit my job during a fucking global pandemic. And yeah, I think that's about it. With that being said, one love, many blessings. My name is Quantum. I am a DJ. I am a healer. I am a speaker. thank you for watching. One love, many blessings. Let's co-create and make it great.